channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little behind the scenes of a test with Denka. I've shot with her a few times. Once was just a backyard shoot when I lived in Jersey, and then I did a Pomme Femme, which is like a brand campaign shoot that I did with her. I kind of just wanted to experiment and try out a new lens that I got for my Contax, as well as I kind of wanted to play with some black and white in studio. So I shot with the Delta 3200, which is a beautiful film. I've shot with it a lot in the past, but just never in the studio. I shot at around 1600 and not at 3200, which was the box speed. So excited to see what these look like. Hope you enjoy. We kind of just kept it minimal and very clean and shot around like 4 to like 5:30, I guess. So very like late afternoon light. My studio gets great light at that time of day. So yeah, hope you enjoy.
I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you.
Hello and welcome back. I feel like I'm never good at filming these outros, so I'm just gonna come at you from the real life situation. This is not coffee, this is wine. I was shooting something for a company earlier and we needed a prop coffee, so figured wine looked as close to coffee as possible. Anyway, I got the film back and It's a little bit more contrasty than I had initially wanted. I think I was just really curious to see what this film stock would do in studio, but I shot it at a very bright point of day in my studio. We tend to get very filtered, diffused light from early in the morning until about 2 o'clock. We shot at 5 o'clock, and that's usually when it's like the highest. And so the light kept changing. Like, there's some shots that look great in terms of the exposure, and then others that were quite dark and then quite light. I think I was not metering as much as I should have to kind of keep up with that, just because the light was changing so frequently, which is kind of annoying. I was able to save a lot of it in, Lightroom, and I think my other qualm is I also didn't think about the floor situation in the studio, because her shoes kind of left a ton of marks on that, and I had to pay someone to retouch that, because I personally don't retouch any of my images. I'm not a big fan of retouching. That was the one thing I made a decision as I've continued to work in this industry. I've realized that there's things that you just, if you don't enjoy them, don't do them, and that is one that I just definitely do not enjoy. So, but other than that, like, I really loved, I think it was an experiment. I don't love these images 100%. I think there's some really beautiful images in this batch. Not everything is a winner, but I really just kind of wanted to experiment with this film stock, see what I thought of it in a studio setting. I think if I was gonna shoot this again, I would definitely shoot it in a very diffused lighting setup, something a little maybe overcast, so the light is very just like one plane, versus something super contrasty. Or if I was going to shoot in studio, honestly, I think maybe like a 400 would probably be a better suited film stock for me. I don't know, has anyone really experimented with a lot of like portrait with this film stock? I feel like maybe there's just certain lighting setups that are better for it. I also don't shoot black and white that often, so I feel like it's definitely a vibe that I generally don't go for, because I don't know a ton about black and white. I love shooting it, but I find that I always have to overexpose. There was one film stock I think I shot like last year on the beach that was very dark, and I should have shot that at like 100 versus what it was rated for, which was I think 400. And that's something I've definitely noticed. I'm just like not used to shooting black and white. I would like to get more into it because I do love the tonalities, but I think the grain structure of 3200 is just a little too heavy-handed for me. I personally think something a little bit finer, a little bit more detail is preferable, unless I'm going for something very intentional. I think in certain circumstances, if I wanted something very heavy-handed, a little bit more artistic, if she was wearing something different, I felt like we kind of leaned into a very atypical sort of style setup with what we shot. So she was wearing stuff that I would generally use on a model test if I was just doing something for like an agency, versus something a little bit more purposeful, maybe something more flowy, a little bit more artistic, a little more ethereal, if you will. But she was wearing stuff that I would like reach for if I was shooting any other test. So I don't know, maybe a little bit more intentional on my end as well. This is something I sort of decided to do very last minute. And I think if I was going to do it again, I would probably be a little bit more intentional, especially because with film, it's a costly expense to just kind of like, I'm going to just try this and see what I think of it. So a learning lesson on my hand. I definitely like a lot of the portraits, so I think those are probably my favorites. And I think I do want to play around with this film a little bit more. I think I just need to maybe do a trial. I think if I was going to do it again, I would probably maybe even rate the film at different film stocks and try it in very flat light and just see how it kind of reacts, and go from there. But yeah, that's really my thoughts. Honestly, I love Denka. She's beautiful, really easy to work with. I featured her now 3 times on my channel. Was one of the first shoots I did with Chris in my backyard studio when I lived in Jersey. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you guys have used this film, if you have any thoughts in terms of what the exposure should be. Like, what are you rating it? Are you not rating it at 3200? I feel like I saw across the board that people said 1000, 1600. Like, I think it really depends on also like the setting you're doing. But if you shoot in a daylight based studio, have you used this film and what do you suggest? I'm really would like to know, because I'm not sure. So anyway, Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any more ideas for me, definitely comment below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!